Yeah, so you were the DP on Faded Memories.
Faded Memories. Yeah, it was Michael Ochorena's directorial debut. So
Yeah,
it's pretty
which I
interesting.
made a film.
Yeah.
I had 3 scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went out for a day, shot
Yeah.
it,
Uh-huh.
and you were working like a madman
Oh my goodness.
behind the camera.
It was crazy.
So they shot a feature film
In 5 days.
4.5,
4.5.
4.5 days,
I actually went out and got some pickup shots the other night.
5 days.
Was it?
But you knew there was gonna be some pickup.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And oh man, it was a crazy 5 days. It was crazy. Just jam packed full of goodness. And essentially, Carpe and Zen, we provided everything that we needed.
It was our gear,
Yeah.
and I mean, if we can claim Sean, it was our crew.
Sean's ours. Sean.
We found him first.
Yeah. Sean Goslin over at Snappy Visuals. You can follow him on Instagram. He's a fantastic photographer.
Yes, he is.
He's ours.
So he
can't
he
have
also
him.
operated and,
Yeah.
and helped you do
Yeah,
everything.
he operated. He essentially was my first AC, and the only other crew member there.
Right. So you two were both running sound.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
So,
a hard
yeah,
that's a hard shoot.
we ran sound and camera. Sean operated most of the time, which is fine. He's a fantastic camera
I'm gonna
operator.
move this.
Um,
Just want to make sure it's breathing.
yeah. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. It was a very hard few days, but we've gotten a lot of good feedback back from everything.
I've only seen a couple stills,
Yeah,
but they look pretty good.
they look sharp. They look really good. Jamie Lockhart, he is their editor. He reached out to me and said, "You guys did a really good job. You know, like sound wise, video wise."
That is
you
always
know.
my biggest concern is sound. We spent a long time talking about sound.
Yeah. And I know there's parts in there where the sound could be cleaner. And if I could go back, I would do sound slightly differently on that film.
Yeah.
But of course, I feel like every film I could always go back and go, okay, I would do it slightly differently. I would do this maybe this way. I would do
That's
this maybe
definitely
this way.
one of the things that slowed me down on finishing Ace.
Yeah.
Is just it's just sound.
Yeah. So I don't know. And I wonder if I'm ever going to get to that point where I don't feel that way, you know, where I don't go.
I'm pretty far away from that point, I think. It's like, no,
Yeah.
nailed it.
Um,
I mean, there's simple things where it's like, okay, sound is probably fine.
Yeah.
But this is shooting a feature is a complicated process.
Yeah.
It's a lot of setups, a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
So like Ace of Hearts, for example, is probably about 50 scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And, man, that's a lot of moving a mic around.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to cover different people, and it's
Uh-huh.
a lot of things can go wrong.
Yeah. And things did go wrong.
What? Yeah. Yeah, it did.
But with Faded Memories, mostly, and I haven't heard any of the post yet, so I don't know. But I know that our coverage was good. We made sure we got all the right pickups on everything. I did do some voiceovers, which that was kind of cool. I made a sound booth inside of a closet, but it wasn't. I don't know. It was like a linen closet.
Okay.
So it just had a bunch of towels stacked in it. I just built a bunch of towels around
Perfect.
it and stacked it up, and the sound turned out pretty good. So for some voiceover work.
I've been doing so much research on studio sound design, and I mean that's what it comes down to, right?
Right.
Is there's sound absorption,
Mhm.
sound isolation,
Mhm.
and there's only so much you can do. Like the car that just drove past.
Yeah, I got it.
I mean, we got it, right?
Yeah.
But you just don't,
Yeah.
you do your best.
But it was a really fun film. Got to meet a lot of really great people. Got to meet and work with Brooke Floyd. He's a fantastic actor. Fantastic. I mean, he's also a pro. You know, he was on Dawson's Creek, and he's been around forever. he just had a film come out called Sour. It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Go give it a watch if you have time. Really kind of fun. He leads that cast in an interesting way.
Awesome.
But man, when they wrote his character to be a woman originally, right?
Okay.
So I was planning on an older woman to make all these shots and everything work. And then this guy shows up, and he's vaguely familiar to me, right? So I'm like asking him all these questions, like, you been in anything I've seen? And then he just starts name dropping all these things and their favorite movies of mine, and I'm like, what? So I go back into my memory log, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I know you from this, and I know you
start singing
from
the
this.
theme song.
Yeah. No, I wasn't a big Dawson's Creek fan, unfortunately.
Men of a certain age.
Yeah. So anyway, but he's fantastic. He's an all-around great actor. And just he came in and ad-libbed all this stuff and was perfect and hit it every time. So much fun. He's going to be one of the highlights of the film. I'm really looking forward to seeing his performance. But I took special care to make sure that the shots with him were good, and to make sure that I nailed his sound, because he yells a lot.
We need to get some of that 32-bit float
Yeah.
recording happening.
Like, so we're outside, and every time he would go to speak, I would go,
Move away from that. That's too hot. That's
yeah,
too hot.
it's too hot. But he's really, really good. He'll be a highlight of the film.
Oh, good. And a name that helps sell it.
Yeah.